Hello everyone, my name is Richard Byrne and I am the Trade Commissioner for Europe at the Department of International Trade. My region covers 34 countries, including the EU, the Western Balkans, the EFTA countries, so Liechtenstein, Norway and Iceland, and Israel. And together, these countries comprise 53% of the UK's trade with the rest of the world. My job is to help British companies to export to Europe, to support them overseas, to open up market access, knock down some of those market access barriers, which although we've been in the single market for 40 years, still exist within Europe. Lots of complicated registration, licensing and procurement problems that we're often asked to solve by companies. And we also encourage inward investment from Europe into the UK. And despite all the issues around COVID and economic concern around Brexit, I'm pleased to say that we've seen very strong continued inward investment into the UK. Our two big campaigns this year are around tech and green growth, because these are areas at which the UK excels. And we see it as our job to support exports, which have been highlighted by the UK's industrial strategy as the sectors where we have the greatest expertise and the greatest ability to increase economic growth and bring back jobs to the UK if we can succeed in exporting overseas. There are significant opportunities for investment in infrastructure and for supporting infrastructure supply chains, which is particularly relevant for UK export finance. I know of a number of major, particularly transport and power projects with UK investment, which along with a big contractor or a number of leading contractors brings a whole number of UK supply chain companies behind it. And these are often supported by export finance. So we see whatever happens with the UK-EU FTA negotiations going on now, we see strong continued opportunities for the UK to trade with Europe, invest in the areas that Britain is strong at, export the products in sales, and to work with UK export finance to help deliver successful projects. So with that, I'll hand over to Michèle.
Thank you very much, Richard, for this great introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for participating to this side event. I hope you have enjoyed the customer conference so far. My name is Michèle D. I'm a regional head in UKEF Business Development Team, where I cover Europe. Europe is a massive market. It's a very diverse market. And as far as UKEF is concerned, one commonality to all regions in Europe is the market appetite that we have to support our exporters in all these various regions. As you know, UKEF can support our exporters to encourage our exporters to export to Europe by providing them with short-term products like working capital support or export insurance products. And I just wanted to highlight that with regards to the export insurance, our cover for this particular product has been expanded to EU as well as Iceland, Norway and Switzerland in response to the COVID crisis. UKEF can also provide European buyers of UK goods and services with financing support to buy from the UK. And we can do so in circumstances where the liquidity available from the commercial banking markets might be sufficient, or competitive export finance (ECA) might be appropriate in terms of diversifying the source of funding for these buyers. And I'm in particular thinking of all the major infrastructure projects that are currently happening across Europe, or will be happening in the near future across Europe, where a diversified source of financing might be welcome in light of the volume of financing required. The last product that I would like to highlight is our new product, the Export Development Guarantee, which is a product to support British companies in order to help them to access high value loans facilities for general working capital purposes or capital expenditure purposes for scaling up their existing production activities and support potential exports, additional exports to various markets. It's not a product which is linked to a particular export contract. It's a general working capital or general export finance facility, if you like. But it's really its purpose is really to boost the manufacturing facilities, for example, of UK exporters of UK companies willing to export, and I strongly believe that this it's a very great product to encourage British companies to export more to Europe. UKEF's role is obviously to support the UK supply chain to exports, but one aspect that I wanted to highlight here is the fact that in providing support to the UK supply chain, we can do so by providing financial support to overseas contractors to allow them to form their contract overseas, as long as they bring the UK supply chain with them to fulfill their contracts. We have worked with a variety of European companies providing financial support to the buyers of these companies overseas, as long as they themselves were bringing the UK supply chain with them. Two recent examples that I would like to highlight is a contract in Angola, whereby we provided financial support to the government of Angola to improve their electric distribution infrastructure. The contract was awarded to Spanish contractor Elecnor, but through the UK subsidiary, they procured enough from the UK for us to be able to support their contracts with the government of Angola. Another example is a recent contract that we have supported, a contract by French contractor Colas, who have been awarded a road contract in Gabon. And again, we were able to support that contract through the fact that the Colas was able to bring enough of the UK supply chain in their contract for us to be able to provide financial support to the government of Gabon. So we help overseas contractors as long as they bring the UK supply chain with them to win business. And we can also help these overseas contractors to explore the UK supply chain and to procure more from the UK by organizing what we call supplier fairs, which are events where we bring together overseas contractors or contractors and sponsors with the UK supply chain in order to allow more trade to happen, connections to be made. I think that's about all I wanted to say. So we're very keen to hear from, obviously, British exporters to Europe. We're keen to hear from potential European buyers of UK goods and services, and very keen to hear from European contractors willing to bring the UK supply chain with them in their overseas projects. On that note, I look forward to your questions and looking forward to a great discussion. Thank you.